When I first started my online business, I used to wonder why people talked about mindset so much. I used to be like, what? Just talk about the business. Talk about how to start a business. Like, what's this mindset stuff these people are going on and on about? And now that I've been in business for 3 years, I'm like, oh yes, there is something to that mindset thing. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 things that have helped me build a really strong mindset over the course of these past 3 years, and how these 7 principles can help you as well. Hey there bosses, Jean Entre here, and on this channel we talk about how you can make a living with your writing. And so if you want to hear about tips, resources, and strategies to make a living with your writing, make sure to hit the subscribe button to join our community. So the first thing that I learned in my entrepreneurial journey that has really been helpful with my mindset is being ready for a long fight, or taking that mindset of I'm in this for the long haul. A lot of people are willing to do things for a week, a month, 2 months, and then will just put up their hands and say, oh, this thing doesn't work. But the truth is that with entrepreneurship, that's not how any of this works. If you're looking for overnight success, this is not the path to take. You can go get a job, which I don't have anything against jobs, especially if they're paying you well for doing things that you love. Go and get a job. That's an easier path. Find your own path. But if you want to take this path of entrepreneurship, you should realize that you have to be in this for the long haul. You have to be willing to be in this for the long haul. You have to be willing to wait a year, sometimes 2 years, maybe, to see some success with certain things. But my take on it is that I will be willing to do something for 3 years and see massive success, okay, as an entrepreneur, versus sitting on a job for 40 years and then coming to the end of your life and realizing, man, like, I didn't get anything out of this, right? So totally, if you want to be an employee for 40 years, this video is not for you. But if you do want to be an entrepreneur that, writes your own rules and writes your own paychecks and has a potential to make quite a bit of money, then you have to have that mindset of I'm in this for the long haul and nothing is going to stand in my way. And that word is endurance. Nothing standing in my way. For people that are long distance runners, they may understand the word endurance a little bit more, because for long distance runners, they have to push their bodies to keep going even when their minds are trying to give up. They have to push themselves to keep going even when it seems like the mountain is a little bit too steep. And that is endurance, the tenacity to keep moving even when, things don't look like they're working out, and to finish the course. And that's something that a lot of people are not willing to do. And because of that, they can not necessarily become entrepreneurs. But if you want to be one of those people, if you want to be able to write your own rules and write your own paychecks, then you have to be willing to be in this for a long haul, right? Be willing for a long fight, be willing to face a lot of obstacles along the way, and have endurance to keep moving. And that has been something that has been really helpful to me. That's why 3 years later, I'm still here. I started blogging actually in 2012. And so it's been 6 years. It's the end of 2018. It's been 6 years since I started blogging. It took me about 3 years to start making money. But those 3 years, I was just really learning and absorbing everything I could. And I was also in grad school at the time. But it gave me the foundation I needed to become, to start making money in 2015 and to continue to make money up until now, to the point where if you watched my Q&A video, I talked about how in May I lost my job as a research scientist and how immediately my side hustle was able to kick in and cover my living expenses. So be in this for the long haul. Don't give up just yet. Second thing that I'll say has been super helpful is stop trying to impress people. Okay, stop. All of us as human beings have this thing within us that wants people to be happy with us, that wants people to be impressed with us. But if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to leave that behind. You have to stop trying to impress everybody. Stop trying to get everybody to agree with your business plan. Stop trying to get everybody to go with your vision, because it's very likely that about 90% of people are not going to go with your vision. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to care. And even the people that love you, that are like, don't do this, they're not doing it because they hate you. They're doing it because they've never seen anybody do that. Or maybe maybe they tried it in the past and they weren't very successful, and they're like, no, just take the path of least resistance. And so it's important for you to stop trying to get everybody on your wagon. Just do it. If you want to be a blogger, start a blog. You want to be a freelance writer, go get some clients. You want to do social media management, do it. You want to do photography, start taking pictures and putting them on Instagram. Stop trying to tell everybody about your dream and let your results speak for themselves. When you start getting results, you will have your friends and family that would have opposed you or were opposing you before, who will come up to you and be like, hey, how are you doing that? That has happened to me. As people see me here on YouTube, as people see me on Instagram, and as people see my blog, they're like, hey, Gertrude, how are you doing that? Yet, if 6 years ago I had told these same people, some of these same people, that I was doing that, it wouldn't have been that they were necessarily hating on what I was doing, but they'd not seen anybody else do that. It's weird. Like, what is this thing? What's even a content creator? Like, what in the world is that, and how do you even make money? We understand being a doctor, we understand being a nurse, we understand being a teacher, but people don't understand being a content creator, you know, making money basically out of thin air by talking to people. You know, people don't get that. So stop trying to convince everybody that they need to get on the wagon with your dream, and just do it. Stop trying to impress people. And the other thing about trying to impress and trying to tell everybody is that, like I kind of alluded to that before, is people are going to tell you that don't do this. And that can kill your spirit. That can completely kill the dream. So just do it. Stop talking about it. Stop trying to get everybody to be happy with you. The third thing, it's not number 4 yet, but the third thing is have faith that what you're doing is going to work. I'm a Christian, so I have faith in God. I have faith in Jesus Christ. And that really is helpful to me as I build my business. So I have faith in that. But even moving away from that example, having faith is basically saying that I don't see this thing yet, but I just have this belief. I just have this thing inside of me that this thing is going to work. And so just having faith. Just having faith. You know, faith is a powerful thing, right? Where it's like you're imagining it in your mind and you're going to do the work to make that thing come to fruition. And no matter the obstacles that stand in your way, you're still going to have faith that this thing is going to work. It takes faith to send pictures out to people and believe that they're going to get back to you. It takes faith for that person, when they reach out back to you, to say, hey, can we get on a phone call? It takes faith to try to sell yourself to somebody and to say, hey, I'm the best person that can help you solve your problem. It takes faith for that other person to say, hey, you know what, I'm willing to take a bet on you, and I'll pay you $500 a month to do ABC for me. It takes faith. And if you don't have that faith, then you will never take action, because it's even faith that allows us to dream up ideas. So have faith that whatever that it is that you're doing is going to work. If you have the mentality, oh man, even as I'm going to this meeting, as I'm going to make this call, she probably is not going to close me as a client. I'm probably not going to close her as a client. She's probably not going to buy anything. Oh my God, woe is me. Okay. If you have that kind of mindset, you're never going to succeed. So you have to have faith. Faith is a positive emotion. You have to believe and have faith that what it is that you want to do is going to work. The fourth thing that has been really helpful to me is studying. Studying has also been really essential to me as a person in helping me progress, because usually, and I heard somebody say this the other day, usually the reason why you cannot do something is not because you don't have the ability. It's usually a lack in knowledge. It's usually a lack in knowing what to do, right? Or having a particular skill set to do that thing. So it's not that you don't have the ability, it's that you lack the skill set. And so when you realize that you're lacking in a particular skill set, it's time for you to go study up. And so for instance, for me, recently I realized, man, I need to up my selling game, right? I have an email list, I have a YouTube channel, I have to make some money, right? And the way you make money is by selling. But I also don't want to be super like salesy. So how do I sell in a way that's authentic and real and helpful to people? And so I really started to consume content, read books, watch videos that allowed me to learn to sell in a very authentic and natural way. I started putting that into practice. Yes, it's working. And so I didn't have that skill set before. Now I'm slowly acquiring that skill set. And so sometimes it's not that, because none of us is born with all this knowledge on how to sell and how to make videos and how to write blog posts. We acquire that knowledge. And so you have to also realize that if you can't do something, if you hit a roadblock in your business, it's not because you don't have the ability, it's a lack in skill set. So if you don't learn it yourself, then what that means is that you need to hire somebody, hire an assistant that has that skill set that can help you. But I think most of us that are even watching me on this channel, you're solopreneurs, you're a one woman, one man show. And so then what that means is that you need to go learn that skill yourself and do it. And the thing that is helpful with that also is that as you grow, if you do hire somebody to help you with executing that particular thing, right, you know what it entails. And so when the person comes into your business and they're not doing it right, you can be like, hey, like let's fix it, let's make it work. All right. And so that is also important, that you need to study up constantly. So I'm always reading. I always, right now there are about 3 books that I'm reading at once, and usually that's what I do. I'm reading 3 books. I don't always read all the books all the way to the end. I read it to the point where I'm like, oh, okay, I've gotten what I need to get out of this book. Let me now go implement it. Because trust me, it's not how many books you read, it's how much you implement. The next thing is to surround yourself with people that have done what you want to do. Surround yourself with people who are already successful in that particular field. And so this is where going to conferences, going to meetups, joining online communities, that is where this becomes super helpful, right? So join a community, find communities of people on different social media platforms on, within your community. If you're in a bigger state, I live in San Diego, so we tend to have a lot of those, but find events to go to, because it can be extremely empowering and extremely encouraging when you see somebody say, hey, I started 3 years ago, and at that time I had nothing, but now I'm making $10,000 in my business per month. That's extremely empowering, because what it says to you is that if you're just starting out right now, it's possible that if you take steps that are similar to what this person has taken, maybe you won't be making 10,000, but it's possible you could be making $5,000 or $7,000, or maybe you will surprise that person and be making $20,000. It just depends. But when you surround yourself with like-minded people, when you surround yourself with people that have an entrepreneurial spirit, you tend to catch it too, because these people are doing things that are outside of the norm. I remember I went to one of these meetups right here in San Diego, and there was this lady that came, and she had hip replacement surgery, so she had to be out of work for a while. But when she came back to her job had fired her. And she was at this meetup, and she was like, you know what, I'm about to do this thing full time because I came back from my surgery and my job fired me. And everybody was like, yay, congratulations. And that was a completely opposite response to if she had told a general audience. People were like, oh, I'm so sorry you lost your job, right? But this crowd understood that there is more to life than a 9-to-5. And if you have a 9-to-5, that's great. But if you lose it, then that is not the end. And so encouraging her in that way. And so find communities, find conferences to go to that are super encouraging, super inspiring, that will help you on your journey. And I'm telling you, it does wonders for your mindset. The next thing that I know has been helpful is not being afraid to emulate. Now, watch what I'm going to say in this, because this can be a dicey topic. Emulate is a synonym of copy, but it doesn't mean you have to go copy and steal other people's content or what other people are doing. But you can definitely steal techniques from people. All right. There is a saying that the best artists steal. And I'm pretty sure people have stolen other people's art and have incurred the wrath of other artists. But the whole point of that particular quote is that you can get to where somebody else is simply by following the steps and techniques that they have used. Because you see, principles and techniques and strategies that are good, they're good regardless of who uses them. They may not always get you to the same level of results, but they're good regardless of who uses them. And so when you read, when you watch videos, when you consume content, don't be content to just sit back and be like, wow, I listened to an amazing podcast by so and so, or I watched G's bomb video. But be willing to say, okay, how is G making these videos? I'm not saying that I'm the best video maker, but if you want to start a YouTube channel, for instance, then how is Gertrude getting on these videos? How is she talking? What does she use? What lighting does she use? Let me go find out, and I'm going to emulate. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to get the same equipment she has. I'm going to set it up the way she says to set it up, and I'm going to start filming. We may be talking about different topics, but at least the person has gotten the foundations right, because they're beginning to copy or emulate the same foundational principles. So don't be afraid to emulate. A lot of people want to be like, oh, I want to be an original, and this is good. This is good, but the truth is that there are very, very few original business ideas. There are people that put different tweaks and spins on it, but there are very few super original ideas. So don't be afraid to emulate and then put your own spin and personality on it. Last but not least tip is to be generous. Be generous. See, a lot of people operate in a mindset of scarcity where it's like resources are not, and so because of that, I need to hold on to what I have, or else people will steal what I have. And I've come across people, like one day I came across this lady who told me that she took down her blog because she didn't want people to get her content for free. And I was so surprised she was saying that, because she wasn't the only person doing what she was doing. She definitely had competitors who were putting out free content and who were making more sales than her. So don't be afraid to put out free content. I am making these videos. There is a value to that. A lot of you that watch it, get back to me and let me know, give me feedback that, hey Gertrude, this video of yours really helped me. And as a result, some of you have even bought products from me from watching the free video. People have clicked through affiliate links to buy after I have given free content. So don't be afraid to give stuff away for free. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort to put stuff out in the world for free. But if you do it and you do it strategically, people are going to know, like, and trust you, and will have no worries paying you whatever amount it is to work with you, paying whatever amount it is to buy your product, paying whatever amount it is to click through an affiliate link. Because when you're generous, what you're doing is that you're helping people and you're operating from a place of abundance. And in my world, there is more than enough, all right, of knowledge to go around. So I'm not afraid, because listen, if I don't make this video, I'm sure you can type in how to build an unbreakable mindset and you're going to find 25,000 videos that other people have made. So there's no sense in me holding back. And to be honest, very, very few business ideas are super original. All of us are doing things that people have done before us, but we have put our personalities on it. We have put our own culture, our own world, the things that make us us. We've put that in that business to make it unique and make it interesting. So never say that, oh my goodness, I'm not going to do ABC, because if I do that and I'm not, I'm being too generous. You can never be too generous. In fact, sometimes I've found that some of the most generous entrepreneurs are also some of the most successful. So don't be afraid to be generous, because it can only come back to you in a great way. So let me know in the comments below which one of these 7 ideas resonated with you. Leave in the comments below. Also, let me know, have you been able to build an unbreakable mindset, and what has been helpful to you that I did not mention in this video? I'm curious to know. Leave them in the comments below.